So without further ado, I think we will now move on to our discussion. Our first panelist will be Mr. Zimnisky, an independent analyst. So hi to you, Paul. I know that you are very experienced with your work. So can I know, since when did you begin to be an independent analyst? And as of now, what is your understanding about the size of the market and the future trend of the industry? So over to you, Paul.
I'm pleased to be here. Again, I'm an independent diamond industry analyst. I'm based in the USA, just outside of New York City. I cover the whole diamond supply chain for both the natural and the lab-grown diamond, from the producers to the manufacturers to the retailers. And my aim is to try to predict the future of the industry, from supply to demand to prices, which is not always easy. But my clients include institutional investors, companies within the segments of the industry, governments and consultancies, and whomever my work can provide value to. And as far as my kind of views on the lab diamond industry and kind of how we got to where we are today, I would say that even though this technology of growing diamonds has existed for decades, there's been companies like Chatham that have been selling lab-grown diamond jewelry since the 1990s. It was not really until last decade that the product really began to gain traction as a mainstream jewelry option for consumers. And I believe this was in part because of the advancement of the production technologies that were assisted by investments made by other industries like the solar industry and the LED light bulb industry in the early 2000s. And this is the case for the CVD production technology specifically. And I would say there were a few players that really seemed to lead this latest generation of producers. I would say Type 2A in Singapore comes to mind. They were one of the first players to really make strides in distributing lab diamonds in the US market, offering them to jewelers on memo and getting them in the cases of jewelers that otherwise may have not given the product a chance. And then, mid last decade, we start to see more and more players and producers enter the space. Much more money was spent on investing in production technologies. And this has led to significant improvements in production yields, which has led to much lower production costs, which has been reflected in the prices downstream. And I see this as the primary catalyst that has kind of really bolstered this product into the success that it's had today. I essentially look at it as a diamond at a new price point. There are some nice narratives that fit the ESG zeitgeist when we talk about lab diamonds compared to, say, natural diamonds. But I think this is really about the price, and it's exciting to consumers to be able to buy a nice diamond for a few $100s. And I think that's what this is all about when we're looking at the jewelry segment of the market. Longer term, we have to remember that jewelry is just one application for diamond, and the high-tech market is multiples larger than the jewelry market. So that's an exciting prospect for the industry. And I think the biggest key to getting the cost of the raw material down is what it's going to take for diamond to be more readily used in mainstream applications for high-tech use. So I think we're going to continue to see the producers focusing on improving production technology, to improve the yield, to reduce the production cost, and ultimately get the price down for the end user. So as you can see, the cost of the material is the big theme here, as far as jewelry and technological application. And a lower price point for lab diamond unlocks a much bigger market for the demand for the product. And with that, I just would add that I did include my lab-grown diamond jewelry market forecast in the printed publication that was distributed today, and it also kind of has a more nuanced view of my opinion on the market. And with that, I will pass on to the next panelist.
好，谢谢 Paul。那刚刚 Paul 也是提到了。
So thank you, Paul. Yes, in your package, amongst the documents that we have prepared for all of you, there is a published lab-grown diamond market forecast. You can refer to this forecast for more details. Thank you very much again, Paul. Then I'll give floor to Paul.
咱们培育算
So in order for us to have a sustainable growth and development, what kind of efforts should the stakeholders put in?
So as far as environmental sustainability, I think energy is the key here. That is the most significant consumable input for lab diamond producers. And I believe the jewelry segment of the industry will bifurcate or split between premium lab diamonds and generic or more economically priced diamonds. And from the standpoint of marketing, the premium quality diamonds will need to be more transparent with their supply chain and even with their growth process. And the source of energy used in the production process will be part of this, meaning that the premium brands will probably have to use renewable energy to support the brand image. I will leave it at that for now to be respectful of the time.
谢谢 Paul。那
Thank you.